Time has passed, but the silence of the sea remains unchanged. And even now, more than a century later, the USS Cyclops is more presence than absence. In March of 2018, 100 years after the disappearance, the name Cyclops returned to the headlines. At the U.S. Naval Memorial in Washington, descendants of the lost crew gathered for a quiet ceremony. A single bell tolled 309 times, one for each soul. No one mentioned the Bermuda Triangle. No one spoke of supernatural forces, but every speech carried the same message, an absence that time has not healed. In the 21st century, technology has reached depths the Navy of 1918 could never imagine. High-resolution sonar, deep-sea drones, and 3D ocean mapping have turned the sea floor into a new frontier of discovery. Since 2009, NOAA's Office of Ocean Exploration has quietly included the Cyclops' final route in its survey missions, over 40 expeditions covering thousands of square kilometers of the western Atlantic. Their goal was simple, yet monumental: find a trace. After all that, not a single verified fragment of the USS Cyclops has ever been found. In 2013, oceanographer Michael Barnett led a private expedition that claimed to have located massive metallic structures nearly 3,800 meters deep near Bermuda. For a few thrilling weeks, the world wondered, had they found the Cyclops? The sonar images showed enormous steel sections coated in coral, eerily matching the silhouette of a ship's hull. But chemical analysis revealed the metal dated to the 1940s, likely a World War II cargo vessel, not the Cyclops. Barnett told reporters, "It wasn't her, but for a few days it felt like the ocean had spoken again." In 2017, through new Freedom of Information Act requests, the Naval History and Heritage Command released more than 1,200 previously unseen pages about the Cyclops investigation. Among them were weather records, internal communications, and letters exchanged between Navy officials. One document, dated April 1918, contained the first ever mention of a suspected fracture along the central keel, a detail never made public before. It read, "Evidence suggests progressive structural fatigue prior to departure from Barbados. Immediate inspection of sister ships is advised." That single forgotten paragraph reignited one of the earliest theories, that the Cyclops broke apart from within, not from without. Armed with these rediscovered records, modern engineers began digitally reconstructing the Cyclops in 3D. Simulations run at the University of Michigan in 2018 showed that if the keel had been weakened, the ship could have split in under 25 seconds, flooding and sinking almost instantly. Researcher Dr. Sarah Lonsdale explained, "The ship would have broken apart silently, flooding from within. In minutes, it would be resting 3 kilometers down. Too fast for a single distress call." A compelling explanation, yet one that still lacks the one thing every theory needs: evidence. Despite every disappointment, the search goes on. Private groups and research organizations continue to sweep the Atlantic in search of the missing collier. In 2020, the Ocean Exploration Trust, founded by explorer Robert Ballard, the man who found the Titanic, announced plans to rescan the Cyclops' last known coordinates with next-generation sonar. Ballard stated, "If the Cyclops is down there, we'll find her. Every wreck has a story. This one is still waiting to be told." So far, no definitive results. But for the first time in decades, hope returned to the surface. What the Cyclops left behind isn't just a puzzle, it's a legacy. For scientists, it's a lesson in the limits of knowledge. For sailors, it's a reminder of respect for the sea. And for the public, it remains a timeless symbol of human fascination with the unknown. Naval historian James Delgado once said, "The Cyclops endures not because it was never solved, but because it was never forgotten." Perhaps the ship's real story is not about what was lost, but about why we keep searching. Today, the USS Cyclops exists in two worlds. One belongs to science, data, coordinates, and engineering reports. The other to myth, portals, anomalies, and the whispers of the Bermuda Triangle. Some see a failed machine, others, a supernatural mystery. Between them lies the truth, the lives of 309 men who vanished into history. Because in the end, the Cyclops didn't just disappear. It became a story humanity refuses to let go. Sometimes, the sea feels alive, not as a being, but as a memory. In the mid-Atlantic, between Bermuda and Puerto Rico, acoustic sensors still detect low rhythmic vibrations, natural frequencies from shifting currents and seabed movement. To scientists, it's mere physics. To others, it's poetry. The faint, endless pulse of a ship still echoing beneath the waves. Oceanographer Dr. William Sager once said, "The ocean doesn't speak, but it remembers. And sometimes, silence is the loudest answer." More than 100 years have passed since the Cyclops left Brazil and vanished into the Atlantic. The world has changed, but the ocean, vast, ancient, indifferent, has not. Perhaps the ship still lies somewhere down there, preserved in the cold dark, a monument of steel and silence. Or perhaps it was erased completely. Either way, it fulfilled its purpose. It reminded us that not all mysteries are meant to be solved. Some are meant to be remembered. The sea doesn't explain itself, but it remembers. And in the depths, maybe the Cyclops still echoes. 3 short signals, 1 long silence.